She's one of the greatest bowlers ever with over 20 PWBA titles. In 2001, she had a year like no other, winning 7 titles. Can CDB recapture that past glory with a championship at the PWBA Rochester Open? Find out next. And we welcome you to the PWBA Rochester Open Finals. A fantastic field of 4 for 3 games up to stepladder final, the $10,000 first prize. And hello again, everyone. I'm Dave Lamont. Kim Adler will join me in a moment. You've got a wide variety of experience here, starting, of course, with Carolyn Doran-Ballard and Josie Ernest in the first match. CDB looking for her first title in a long time. Josie's also looking for her first PWBA title. Clara Guerrero, who's already won this summer, is the number 2 qualifier, and Shannon O'Keefe ran away with qualifying. It's been a summer of Shannon without any question on the PWBA Tour so far. And Kim joins me now. First, we talk a little bit about Shannon O'Keefe and her summer and the way she dominated.
She has had a tremendous week this week. She has averaged 226, which is 7 pins higher per game than qualifier Clara Guerrero in second position.
Now, CDB, you know her. You've competed against her. We all know her as a bowler. And this is an emotional experience for her, isn't it?
She had emotions. Going into the stepladder final, she needed the final strike in the 10th frame to qualify for the TV show against Shannon Pluhowski, and she got it. She was quite tearful, and she's taking these moments very precious these days for her, and it's very important. This tournament is a big deal for her because she needs to finish high to qualify for the Players' Championship.
So we'll see how this goes, but she's got a very talented opponent waiting for her in Josie Ernest, and we'll show you that. Our opening of 3 matches coming up in the 2016 PWBA Rochester Open Finals. Coming up. So let us begin. Josie Ernest on your right. Carolyn Doran-Ballard seated. So Josie will start. The number 3 seed, looking for her first title.
First title, first show. Have to see how those nerves are going to be for her.
She was the number 5 seed in the 2012 Queens. Liz Johnson beat her that year in the opening match. Has a late snap hook into the face, but she ends up with a makeable 6-10.
She's really trying to control her ball speed right now. That was what the players were focused in on in practice, was whether how slow or how fast they should go, because the condition is still trying to transition and break down at this point.
Josie works at Vanderbilt as an assistant bowling coach there. She was a fabulous player for the Commodores. National champion in 2007. She was player of the year, as well as a first-team All-American while a Commodore. And a chop. Yeah, man.
Everyone wants to set a good tone to start their first game like that, and that's unfortunate.
Looking at a Hall of Famer right there, and Carolyn Doran-Ballard.
She is looking very focused today. She is wanting to do a lot of things with this tournament today.
And through the nose, and the split that Josie broke up is what Carolyn is left with.
And her speed was on the slower side there. I think she's intentionally, as opposed to Josie, is intentionally trying to throw it a little slower. Certainly her heart rate's fast, but she knows how to control her emotions.
Take a shot at it. Leaves one behind. So we're going to take a moment to show our USBC Future for the Sport lane pattern.
Well, this week it was 37 feet, but it certainly played really far out to the right. Most of the players were playing at a spot on the lane about the 8 board, and they were trying to keep it right at that. So that's what she'll hopefully be trying to do today.
Had an interesting chat with Carolyn before the event, and about, you mentioned her focus, but it's not what it was. She said, I really want to have fun. I don't feel like my whole life is wrapped up in this as it once was. So I want to enjoy it. Yes, of course I want to win. I mean, we know who we're talking to here. But, you know, if this doesn't work out for her, it's not going to devastate her.
She's been through this position so much, and I think having children has something to do with that too. I think it just recenters your life on different things as being important, and there's a fullness to Carolyn's life now that before it was a lot more bowling. Josie Josie's ball placement straight into her swing there, and that's an excellent shot at her hand.
So we'll take a look at Josie's form. A nice shot. I think Carolyn said something to her and got a smile out of her.
She seems pretty loose now. She's a four-step player, and it goes straight into her swing. Large second step, but nice high backswing. You see all the girls out here are doing that these days. And the acceleration through the swing is the important piece, and that's what really gets her to the show this week. She's much further left on that shot. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was closer to the second arrow through the front part of the lane.
Well, let's take a look exactly, and the video will back you up, I'm sure.
So I think she's trying to get from like 7 out to 5, and that time it was definitely 10, 11 on that shot. Never really had a chance through the front part of the lane. But it's one pin to shoot at, so that's the helpful thing. She's using her plastic ball around the 5th arrow.
No trouble at all. Her match play record event was 3-3. Her match play average is a shade under 209. Carolyn actually went 2-4 in match play, but averaged almost 218.
That never hurts. getting those scores, especially in high scoring patterns. She got a little fast with her feet there, but she knows how to recover from those shots.
She buried it. Well, let's go back to 2001 for a moment. One of the greatest runs in PWBA history when she started the year with a win of the WIBC Queens and followed it up with 6 more titles on her way to becoming Player of the Year.
And I'm happy to say, and also a little confused, that I was there for that. I was one of the competitors to experience the Carolyn Wrath that week, or that year.
20 championships in her career, 3 major championships. Also wins in the Women's Series Showdown, Women's Series Cheetah Championship. She doesn't like that one.
Like that.
And with good reason.
At least broke it up, which is good. Carolyn likes to shoot at her spares from the left side typically with a plastic ball. She did not like that off her hand. She was, it just kind of moved through the bottom part of her swing, her hand did, and it really made her rotate a lot more than she really wants to rotate the ball.
What's remarkable, though, and we've talked about these PBA Women's Series titles, but just a title, the last one was 2003.
I know, she's really, it's hard to believe she's without a title in the new inception of the PWBA.
That was the Greater Cincinnati Open. She beat Liz Johnson. Hey, Liz was in the final. Boy, that never happens. And but Carolyn has made Queen shows. She's made U.S. Open shows. But her last major championship in Sunrise, Florida, west of Fort Lauderdale, was the USBC Queens in 2001 at the old Don Carter Sawgrass Lanes, which sadly was ruined by Hurricane Wilma. That was a great house.
Hurricane Wilma.
Yep. Josie Ernest snaps that in the pocket of the messenger, knocked, and it wasn't answered.
Kiss the pin. It was, look at this, the 6 pin almost tries to get that 10 pin. Look at it. I'm gonna knock on your door. Not opening.
Yeah, sometimes I don't open, but that's because I look through the peephole and see who's there. For Josie, this is her first TV show since the Queens 2012, her first on this renewed PWBA tour. And we talked to her about being on television again.
It's going to be exciting, and you know, you always want to go out and win, and that's the ultimate goal, but I also just want to enjoy myself, because you never know how many opportunities you're going to have to be in that situation. And I'm bowling on a great telecast. You know, my first match is against Carolyn, a Hall of Famer, and that's, you know, can be intimidating, it can be exciting, you know, kind of everything wrapped into one. So, you know, I'm ultimately just really excited and thrilled to make the show this summer.
That's a good shot.
She said it too.
A little bit too, yes.
Yeah, she said it, you said it, and the pins spoke as well. So a clean, beautiful strike for Josie there, and a very even match here through the first 4.5.
Carolyn has worked very hard this year on, she believes some of the things that have been working for other girls, keeping her hands soft at the release, extending through the ball better, getting better leverage. Those are all things she's been working on since she worked at Kegel Training Center earlier this year.
That push right through.
So here we have Carolyn, of course, classic style, 5 steps. She places the ball nice and in time, and not as high a backswing as some of the other girls, but she's actually been working on that, and she's trying to keep her head more solid, which she's been doing, and in perfect execution there.
Clara Guerrero awaits the winner of this match. Clara's picked up a title this year. The Players, that was a big one. Gave her 25,000 points. That's got to hurry.
That's right.
And she leaves a bucket behind.
She definitely got that ball further right on that shot. Let's see how far right compared to the other shots. She was playing closer to the second arrow. This time the ball went almost right over the first arrow. She's trying to, you can see by her body motion that she's actually, her shoulder, she's trying to ease it in after the ball's gone. Not an easy spare on this.
Just drive it into the pocket.
Just try.
Yes, well, I didn't say it's that easy, but yeah, chopped it off, and so a open frame by Carolyn Doran-Ballard has put her on the dark side. Josie Ernest has a 3-pin lead as we step aside. So let's take a look at our road to the Smithfield Tour Championship. Liz Johnson, if you see an X, they're in already. So Liz Johnson, Danielle McEwen running 1 and 2, Clara Guerrero, Rocio Restrepo, Shannon O'Keefe. Shannon Pluhowski has got great numbers for points, still looking for a win. Kelly Kulik, same thing. Now, Sherry Tan in 32nd place does have a win, so she doesn't have to finish in the top 16. You see, Carolyn is in 13th, but big points here. You're looking at 12,000 in her bank if she is able to get this victory.
Everybody tries to get to the Players' Championship.
And you are invited only. That is a closed party.
Yes, I can come and watch.
Good shot.
You're right. Additional commentary by Josie Ernest, who joined our broadcast team for that.
Right. Some easy work.
Josie had an outstanding Lee Evans Tournament of the Americas in South Florida. I had a chance to watch some of that in July. And 4 gold medals, singles, doubles, mixed team in all events, and a silver in mixed double. She has had great success in that event during her career. And there was some great action between the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico in particular.
And Team USA, she's with Team USA. She actually said before this Rochester tournament, she had gone to Team USA camp to try and improve a few things, and it definitely helped with this Rochester event.
Yes. Boy, on fire right now with Josie Ernest.
Big double for her.
Yep, and coming out of the break with that double, which is difficult to do.
She really accelerated through this shot. She's getting very comfortable there. Her ball's just right of the marker, down lane, perfect spot.
So Carolyn, who chopped the bucket in a 6, is back on the right-hand lane where she has struck twice.
Carolyn is feeling, I heard the break, her good shot there, lucky shot. But she feels like she's kind of got a rhythm now, and she may have gotten one a little bit slower, but now her speed is back up. Let's watch from down below. Look how close she is to her ankle, and that's another key piece. You'll see all the touring players with the ball in the leverage position right next to the ankle. Very important for strikes.
If you're a bowling fan, you may not even know her full name. You just know her by the initials, CDB.
Good shot there.
A little snappy at the very end, and she winds up with a 4-pin.
They may be starting to transition a little bit. You know, we've noticed with a lot of these weeks, the lanes really, the oil moves around quite a bit, and that may be what's beginning to happen here.
You can see her say trip it, and she did get a break.
Never any doubt there. Carolyn is such a great spare shooter, and that's part of the reason of her longevity.
So Josie Ernest working on a three-bagger.
Big shot here for her. Big breath.
Oh, hook a bunch. Hook a bunch.
Well, that's a washout. I shouldn't chuckle, but the hook a bunch made me laugh, but then the result isn't funny.
Yeah, she got around that ball, and that's what we really try to stay away from out here. We can see it here on the low shot, how much more rotation she got compared to some of her other shots, and that really makes the ball skid where there's oil and hook when it's dry.
What's the strategy here?
Actually, this is not a difficult spare if you're shooting it from the left side, which is what Josie is doing right now.
Getting a kick. Now, the idea, I guess, is drive that head pin over, and instead it chopped. So a big switch. And all of a sudden, she had an over 20 pin advantage. It's been chopped down to just 2.
You can't give Carolyn that type of opportunity. She'll take advantage of it with her experience. She's just trying to compose herself now, get some good deep breaths under her.
Her max 207, CDB at 205. Oh, and a wraparound on the 10. That's a bad break.
Yeah, it was a good shot. She did say it. A little more rotation again, but that's maybe what she's trying to do at this point. And the pin, that 6 pin, goes straight around the 10. You always go, oh, you're sitting there at the falling, just rooting it on. But again, it's not 5, and it's 1 pin, and she will hopefully make this spare.
And she covered it smoothly. Well, now here's a big shot for CDB in the foundation frame. And all of a sudden, she's not only back in the match, in a pretty good position here. If she punches out, she will win it.
The one strike at a time is the important key here, especially this 9th frame strike. Very important. Oh, it kind of hung up on her thumb.
And she cannot get the trip on the 7. And she went, ugh, as soon as she threw it.
Grabbed it. Got really late.
Yeah, her feet got a little fast on that one, and that's what made her say, I was a little late.
I grabbed it to something
Releasing
else.
off her hand late, yes.
Gonna go for it. Gonna go for it.
Wow, look how close this is. Oh, it just barely, if she'd just gotten a little further right, she would have had that spare. She's not out of this. She needs at least the 2, for sure, to put some pressure on Josie.
Got to force Josie to mark in that 10th and put a little bit of heat on her, so we'll see how Carolyn can recover. The winner will play Clara Guerrero. Shannon O'Keefe, the top seed.
Better shot.
And missed it, and never took that left turn that she desperately needed it to do.
It looks like the lanes are starting to transition. It wasn't that bad a shot, and it just never turned. It was like 3 boards right at that last marker, which is not where she wanted it.
And she missed it. Well, my advice for Josie Ernest is don't foul.
That's true.
And that's pretty much all that's going to take for Josie to advance to the next match against Clara Guerrero. Carolyn will pick up some nice points, though, to certainly help her. She's in the top 15.
We definitely have some tournaments left. Now, Josie's using the same ball right now.
But I like it when you go out in style and you win
Yes.
your game with a nice shot, and that's what Josie Ernest has done. So Josie's moving a step closer to her first PWBA title, but she's got a players having a spectacular year. Clara Guerrero waiting on her next.